welcome to Let's Talk Spoop. I'm your host, Don, and continuing with our October special, I bring to you Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust. On Tubi. As per usual on Let's Talk Spoop, we break things down into 6 separate categories. Those 6 separate categories are story, acting, music, atmosphere, look, and finally creep. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Gingerdead Man 2. To give you an idea of how bad this movie is, they couldn't get Gary Busey to come back. Gary Busey refused to do the sequel. So, it opens up, like the commercial actually, or the trailer actually opens up, where they're doing like they're filming a movie within this movie, and it's over the top and bad, and so they cut, and we find out that they're in this filming studio that makes B-horror films. It's like the famous B-horror film studio, which was called Cheatham, and they are filming a bunch of bad films to try to like save the studio, essentially. There's a side plot with a Make-A-Wish Foundation, but it's not called Make-A-Wish Foundation, it's called Over the Rainbow, where it was the guy who was dying's dream to see Cheatham Studios. And somebody randomly decided to send them pastries from Texas, because that's where the first movie takes place, in Waco, or near Waco, Texas. And thus, the Gingerdead Man arrives, because even though he died at the end of the previous one, apparently he's still alive. Somehow. And, yeah. That is... Oh, and so while in the studio, he finds, like, a book of black magic and decides to use the spell out of this obvious film prop to try to get a new body. Uh, 2.5 out of 5. Acting, terrible, cheesy. On purpose? Sure. But still. 2.5 out of 5. Music, nothing special, though I did really enjoy the theme song, which is an obvious ripoff of Bad Reputation by Joan Jett, but I did enjoy the theme song. Jeremiah, if you can play the theme song for them, that would be wonderful.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. I'm flat on mean, I devise the plan. I'm sick, I'm whack, I'm a maniac. I'm touched, I slapped, I'll bust a cab. So run, run, run as fast as you can.
But 2.5 for music. Atmosphere. Ugh. This movie's really bad. There's no reason to watch this movie. It's terrible. It is the worst thing. It's up there with Fear the Melonheads as something that I would never want anybody to see. They gave an honest attempt to be self-aware, like in the first one, but it was badly done and just too much. So yeah, one out of 5 for atmosphere. Look, shaky camera, bad special effects, silly everything. 1 out of 5 for look. And finally, I don't even have notes written down to talk about creep. It just says 1.5 because this movie is not scary. Correction, 1 out of 5 because this movie is not scary. I can't give lower than a 1 It's not how my scoring works. I have to work within my own rules. 1. 1 out of 5. For a grand total of 1.7 out of 5 skulls for Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust. Do not watch this movie. Okay, thanks, bye.